3月10日、侍ジャパンは長いフライトを経て、準々決勝の舞台となるマイアミに到着した。海風が吹き抜けるこの街には、世界中の野球ファンの期待と熱気が漂っている。ワールドベースボールクラシック2026日本代表とベネズエラ代表の一戦は、大会の流れを左右する重要な準々決勝として注目を集めている。番組 MLB トナイトでは、この対戦を前に専門家たちが戦力分析を展開した。先発マウンドに立つのは、ベネズエラのレンジャースアレスと日本の山本由伸。両投手の実力は拮抗しており、試合は緊張感あふれる展開になると予想されている。さらに、ベネズエラの捕手サルバドール、ペレスはインタビューで、日本との対戦に向けた強い意欲と覚悟を語った。大谷翔平を中心とする侍ジャパンも、時差と戦いながら準備を進めている。世界最高峰の舞台で繰り広げられる準々決勝の行方に、今大きな関心が集まっている。この注目の一戦を、ぜひ最後まで見届けてほしい。
Welcome back to MLB Tonight. Jake Peavy, Robert Flores. Ballpark Cam up and running in Miami, where quarterfinal action will resume tomorrow. Team Venezuela, led by Ronald Acuna Jr., who you see in the cage. They suffered their first loss of this tournament yesterday to the dynamic Team Dominican Republic. But up next for the Venezuelans and Ronald Acuna, the defending champion in the World Baseball Classic, Team Japan. And it is a tasty pitching matchup. Ranger Suarez, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, that is your pitching matchup as you look at the tournament bracket. In our previous segment, we discussed at length the United States and Canada in Houston. Here you have Venezuela against Japan and then Korea against the DR. That game also in Miami. With more, here's Sierra Santos with Salvador Perez.
Joined now by the best-smelling man in baseball.
Oh, thank you for that.
Salvador Perez. Wow, what an intense game last night. What did you learn about this team?
Play hard to the last out because you never know what's going to happen. You know, this game is crazy. Not the way that I want to hit the ball for ground ball double play, but you know, I was prepared for that game. Let's see what happens next.
Does this ever get old?
No, when you love what you do, I don't think it's never get old.
Now, I was talking with some of the coaching staff. They said that they've been preparing for Japan for a very long time. What are they doing to prepare you guys?
Japan, everybody knows what they can do. We're excited to face them, and I think they're excited to face us. I think it's going to be a great game. We're going to try to do our best to beat Japan. They've been champion for 3 times in the WBC. We all know that. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. You know, if our pitchers make the pitch and we hit some good pitch, I think we can change that. We can win that game.
Back to last night real quick. Was that the loudest you have ever heard a stadium? Because people are saying it's the loudest game they've ever heard.
I think that one last night, but I got 3 years ago when we played against USA in the quarterfinal. Yeah, I think that's the 2 games that I was super loud. Last night and I picked first in USA game 3 years ago.
Well, I'm expecting it to be loud again. I mean, hey, you guys could meet up again, you and DR. Look at that smile. You want it? You want to run it back?
It's the kind of game we like, you know. We like every game. But before that, we have to beat Japan first. So let's concentrate on Japan and see what happens after that.
All right, we're only focused on Japan. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you,
Thank you.
That game, of course, tomorrow evening, 6:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 2. Here's a look at the head-to-head comparison via some stats. Venezuela, who, as I mentioned, had their only loss thus far of this event yesterday to Team DR. And Japan, of course, is defending and reigning World Baseball Classic. I think this is going to be a very, very exciting matchup just for the pitching matchup alone. Well, Yamamoto against Ranger Suarez.
That's worth going to the ballpark, let alone the superstars of Otani, Acuna.
Absolutely.
We just saw this is worth everybody's viewership, and I think that we're rightfully on Japan being the favorite, but it's not much of a favorite. Ranger Suarez has showed up in big moments versus the best in this league and got it done. You know the moment's not going to be too big, cooler than the other side of the pillow. I think he's going to keep them in the game. Let's see what the other side can do versus maybe the best pitcher that we've seen in the last decade. Yoshi Yamamoto, who's going to oppose him on the other side. What he did in the postseason, I cannot let go of. Yeah. Throwing complete game after complete game, just putting the Los Angeles Dodgers on his back.
Coming out of the pen, game 7.
After 100 pitches. Tomorrow night, wearing his country's uniform, you know he's going to be motivated as he was to win a World Series. It's hard seeing either one of these starting pitchers giving up much. Going to be an electric, tight game tomorrow night.
Yeah, and you look at Venezuela's lineup, there isn't a whole lot of history head-to-head with Yamamoto. Acuna's never faced him. Very limited, resumes for the Contreras brothers as well. Sal Perez also limited. So it is going to be interesting to see how this Venezuelan lineup, how they deal with Yamamoto. And as you've said, Ranger Suarez is one of the best big game pitchers we have.
You just think about that lineup, though, and you just mentioned the Perez and the Contreras brothers, Luz Arraez, Acuna Jr. Any one of those guys
can change the game.
Yamamoto doesn't make perfect pitches. He sees a crooked number.
Absolutely. As for Shohei Ohtani and Team Japan, now Shohei Ohtani is not scheduled to pitch in this World Baseball Classic, but yet he was throwing a sim game this afternoon against his teammates from Team Japan as he just tries to get his work in, Jake. And Team Japan, they got to see why Shohei Ohtani, again, is so special on that.
That was a big overhand curveball. I mean, that was almost 12-6, just what we call Uncle Charlie, that we don't even see him throw too much.
Yeah.
I think what you're seeing there is him just showing them all the shapes, certainly getting ready. I'll tell you this, the highlight of 30 camps in clubs was being at Dodger camp and watching him throw this live.
Yeah, and look at him blow away one of his teammates there with a fastball, pretty much middle. Once again, Shohei Ohtani, and he has confirmed this as much recently. He is not, barring something very unexpected, Jake, he is not going to be taking the mound for Team Japan in the World Baseball Classic. Of course, he closed out the 2023 with that epic at-bat against Mike Trout.
We got 3 games to find out if that's true or not. We know the competitor he is. You
think that there's a chance, maybe?
I don't know. Say this thing gets down to the finals, and you tell me he doesn't want to do what he did last time?
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back here on MLB Tonight.
Then 6 years in Chicago, and then he bounced around, I think, in Boston and Miami toward the end of his career. But remember, he was in the Hall of Fame, and his plaque had an Expos hat on it. And he had been petitioning for it to be a Cubs logoed hat. And so he felt like for him, his biggest impact when he could be more of a guy trying to win was in Chicago than it was in his time in Montreal. Plus, Montreal is not a team. There's no team in Montreal anymore. And so he finally was able to affect some change. And what the Hall of Fame has done is that they're going to redo his plaque and take the E off of it, or the M off of it, for the ME, I guess is how it is on that hat, and take it off of the hat and make it blank. And that was an option that they put in place, I think, in 2013 or 14, which when Dawson had been inducted prior to that was not an option that was available, that it was, they always put a logo on the hat. So he gets what he wants to be able to at least have some recognition, because for him, he thought his time in Chicago was more important than the time in Montreal.
Wow. I think it should be up to the player, right? Obviously things happen, there's becomes disassociation with teams. You feel a certain way about a team and how they treat you after your time playing and all that stuff. So I do like how they've instituted that and allowed that to be up to the player. And it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. And I mean, it's up to the player to a degree, right? Because what they don't want is for the player to sell his rights of what cap he's going to be going into the Hall of Fame with for money from a team. And so, but this was at least hearing him out a little bit. Yeah, and the option of the blank hat at least takes into account not necessarily assigning it to any one team when there's multiple teams that the player had an impact with. All right. So we had a few text messages here today as, we kicked off the show with the wake-up call, and I went with buongiorno instead of wake up, everybody. And so I feel like it's been a very Italian show. With Chris Benetti producing on the TV side, we got an Italian producer there. We just thought that with Team Italy winning Pool B, going 4-0, beating Mexico yesterday, and allowing the USA to continue the World Baseball Classic, that we'd go, sort of Italian-based today. And we got some text messages. Tony in the Plains, Ohio, which, again, he's from Ohio, so I don't know how much stock I want to put in this one, considering I'm from Michigan. But he says, Steve, your Italian is as authentic as Chef Boyardee. Now, I will tell you that back in the day, SpaghettiOs and meatballs, not a bad choice. Like, I like the SpaghettiOs and meatballs from Chef Boyardee. I was okay with those. Were you?
I love that.
No,
I didn't like
good.
that
Don't
at
love
all.
it that much.
That was disgusting. Straight up disgusting to me.
Wait,
but I do
Tony
like the comparison.
Do
I like
you?
the comparison.
All right, Steve sounds about as Italian as Olive Garden from Matt in Sparta in New Jersey. Matt Sparta in New Jersey. And the only thing Italian about Steve is that beautiful jacket he's wearing. Very Italian. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And so, yeah. Some shots fired here on it as well, and so interesting there.
Great shots.
So
great shots.
Yeah. I appreciate it. It's all right. And I thought I nailed it.
You tried to come in too hard. Like, pause. You just went and tried to get the Italian stuff instead of letting it work in naturally. You should have just worked it in naturally. You started it off with the show, and that I even started laughing because I was like, man, he should have worked it in a little softer because you just sounded you sounded too fake with it.
That's kind of the whole idea of it all. By the way, teams getting ready for the quarterfinals, and Team Japan down in Miami. Shohei Ohtani out throwing on the field, getting ready, and with Team Japan. So they're there fighting off the jet lag a little bit to get ready for the games kicking off on Friday and Saturday in the WBC. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Setting up the games for the weekend, as we cannot wait as the World Baseball Classic continues to unfold. All right, Power Alley coming up on the radio side, Hot Stove on the TV side. For Xavier Scruggs, I'm Steve Phillips. Have a great day, everybody.
MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM.